In this video, we're going to walk through how to create a job in SmartRecruiters. If you have the correct role and permission, you can click on the plus icon in the top right corner of your screen and select the Create Job option. This will open up the job creation wizard, which will guide you step by step through creating your job. If your company has multiple brands, you can select the brand for this job by clicking the brand field and choosing the brand from the drop-down list. Next, you're going to choose your job title. As you start to type your job title, you may be prompted to use a job template or to copy a job. If you choose to copy a job or use a template, you will see the job information populate within the sections below. If you click the Use Template option, you'll see all the templates available in your system, as well as the option to copy recent jobs. Next, you can enter the job location, and there are 3 different ways in which this may behave. You may need to enter a street address or enter just the city, or pick from a predefined location drop-down list. As you start to type into the field, you'll either be prompted with different locations or streets that are suggested by Google API, or you'll select from a list. In my case, it's just looking for a city and I can go ahead and select it. If the location is not identified, you have the option to go ahead and enter the location manually unless you're using a predefined drop-down list, in which case, please speak to your system administrator. Next up, you have the option to show whether employees can work remotely. If you check this box, the location will be hidden on the job ad. However, you'll still need to save a location internally against the job. You're then going to select the job ad language from the drop-down list. Please note that while this will translate the default field headers and values in the system, anything that is custom will need to be manually translated, such as the company description, job description, qualifications, and additional information. For the other job fields that we'll see later, if you're not sure whether they will be translated, please check with your system administrator. Now we can move on to the core job content, and much of this information has been populated from the job template that I chose earlier. Whether or not you're using a template, copying a job, or creating the job from scratch, you can edit and update this content at any time. And if you're completely starting from a blank page, you can always use the Create with Winston option to give you some inspiration and have content generated for you. If you don't have the Create with Winston button available, it will need to be enabled by your system administrator. There is also the option to view job ad examples from other publicly available jobs from other customers. You have standard formatting tools available to you which you can use to update content, and as we scroll down to the bottom of the page, you have the option to add any videos that you may have hosted on YouTube, Vimeo, or DigiMe. There is also the option to save this job as a template. Please note that this is only available for administrators and users with the extended system role. Before going ahead and clicking to the next step, you can preview the job ad to make sure everything is looking okay. If all is well, you can click the Next button, which will take you to the Job Details page. On this page, you're going to fill in the job and org fields, and these will be specific for your organization, but typically include things like department or cost center, perhaps employment type. And there are fields that are used for reporting, for adding to job ads, and for driving processes in the system. For this job, I have some required fields I need to complete, including department. Your admin can also set up conditional job fields that will only display if a particular value is selected. Once you've completed the job fields, you'll see a message that will let you know which application experience will be applied to this job. Depending on what's been set up in your system, there may be org field values that are configured to apply a specific application experience. For example, if marketing is chosen as the department, your admin may have configured a different application for marketing jobs versus other jobs. Next, you'll see some standard fields that are used across all customers to optimize job board distribution. Here you just need to make sure you've selected the most relevant values for your job. The compensation section can be used to display the salary range on external job boards. If you do not wish to have the salary displayed, you can leave these fields blank. You may also not see the compensation fields if your organization has chosen to disable this feature. Now it's time to assign the hiring team. You'll need at least one person assigned in a core role, such as a recruiter or hiring manager. You should update your own hiring role if you're a part of the team, or you can remove yourself if you don't need to be a designated hiring team member. You can add people to the hiring team by searching for them either by name or email address, and then choose the hiring role that they should be assigned. You can then click the Add button to add them to the team. To add any additional team members, you can simply continue to search for them in the system, choose their role, and then go ahead and add them to the team. Next, we're going to look at headcount, which is where you're going to set how many positions you're hiring for within this job. The position open date defaults to the current date, but you can change it if needed, and then the next field is the target start date. It's important to enter a realistic start date here because it's used for many of the metrics in the system, especially for hiring velocity, where we're calculating the percentage of jobs filled on time. You can enter a position ID, however it's not required, and it's typically used if you have a job integration in place. Then you can determine whether this is a new or replacement position. If you select replacement, you can add the name of the current employee. And if you want to add any additional positions, you can do so one at a time by clicking the Add Position option, or you can add positions in bulk. If you're using job approvals, you'll see information at the bottom of the screen about the approval process, and we look at that in another video. You have the option to set a date for when the job will be automatically unpublished, and then finally, you have your publishing preferences. Now, you don't need to publish the job at this stage. You can simply save and come back to it later, or you can go ahead and publish. Something to keep in mind is that if you're going to be using job-specific screening questions, you want to make sure that you only save the job at this stage, then go and add your screening questions and publish it later. You can see our additional tutorials on how to do this. For now, I'm going to go ahead and publish, and there's 3 available options: public, internal, and private. You'll want to select public if you want the job posted on your career site and job boards. Selecting internal will make the job only visible for employees to view in the employee portal, and then selecting private will only make the job visible for people with a direct link. I'm going to leave this as public, and I now need to choose whether I want to distribute this job to major job aggregators. The box is automatically checked, and if I go to edit the list, I'll be able to review the job boards that I have previously selected and saved as my preferences. For now, I'm not going to post to any job boards, but I can always go back and edit the job and select the job boards I want to post to. Now I can go ahead and publish my job. Now that the job is published, there are a couple of additional steps that you can take if you wish. Firstly, you can choose to advertise your job on paid job boards. If you have contracts set up in your system with certain job boards, you'll be able to select those boards on the Your Boards tab. Or if you have permission, you may be able to post to paid boards in the marketplace. Here you'll see the available boards and their costs, and you can also use the search if you're looking for a specific board. If you don't want to advertise at this time, you can simply skip advertising and move on to the final step, which is sharing your job. Again, this is optional, but if you'd like to share the job on your social networks, such as LinkedIn, Facebook, or X, you can go ahead and select the relevant options. Otherwise, you can simply click the link that says Done, Take Me to the Job, and it will take you through to the job where you'll be able to see the link to the live job posting you've just created. So that's it. Your job is now live and you're ready to start attracting candidates. Thanks for watching this video.